Alright guys, I wanted to talk again about Hokuto No Ken. That was not enough time to talk about all of the cool things that are in that cartoon. And again, there's many series. It's worth watching the whole thing from start to finish, all of them. Because within there's a lot of parables, same as in the Bible. Again, the reason why this cartoon is so great is because it hasn't been tampered with by the powers that be, like the Bibles and stuff like that. Again, I strongly believe in God. I strongly believe in Jesus and in the saints. But I struggle very much with the Bibles and holy books because, again, they were not written by God Himself. They were written by people, and so easily corrupted and corruptible by money, power, greed, and all that stuff. So, and also, if you guys are willing to jump into the rabbit hole of the Mandela effect, you might be able to see that when the government or governments, the secret cabal, the UAP control group is how I like to call them, they can change the text of your holy books at will. And there's evidence of this. We've seen evidence of this. So when that happens, what real value does it have other than the main principles by which we should be very nice to each other and not do any harm, right? Other than those principles, treat others the way that you would like to be treated. But again, this only applies to those people who are sane of brain, right? Sane of mind, because there are people who are insane and like to hurt each other, right? So just because you like to stab yourself with a knife or whatever it is, because that makes you feel good or whatever inside, or just because you're like Hillary Clinton and you like watching people die, then that obviously doesn't apply to you, right? But people of sane mind, right? People who don't like pain, people who love seeing other people enjoy themselves and have a good life and have dignity and all that stuff. Those are the principles that were being taught by Jesus and many other saints, and of different cultures and different texts. It doesn't really matter. The people who basically want you to be kosher and not hurt other animals and gratuitous violence. The people who are for avoiding gratuitous violence at all costs, those are the people that we need to listen to. And if you watch Hokuto no Ken with the correct lens, through the correct lens, you will see that all the important parables are being taught there about not allowing yourself to reach for power. That famous power through strength. Again, in moderation, right? Power through strength. We see the position of Ra. Ra wanted to create peace on earth through the power of strength, but then eventually he realized that was not the best way to do it. Just to have power and lead humanity through fear and the worry about complete annihilation. That is not the way. That is not the way. And luckily, if you watch the movie or the series of movies, you will see that that is exactly the case. The best, as I said before, the best teachers in all of those movies, from Hokuto no Ken, which is basically Fist of the North Star, you will learn the lessons if you know what you're looking for and you look through it through the correct lens. That in the end, it's all about Toki. Toki was the most important and influential character in the movie, and then also the women, Julia, and also Reina, and there were also some other ladies in there, and they made the sacrifices required for the correct lessons to be learned throughout the thing. It also tells you not to just believe your eyes and your general senses. There is such thing as the soul. I know. The scientists, they all want to show you that the soul doesn't exist. And yet, the technology to create to basically beam objects from one location to another, just like what you see in a lot of movies. You take objects like this fan, you take this object and you take the atoms of this object and you move these objects from here to here. So there's two machines, one here and one here. They've already done that. It works. It works. The reason why it doesn't work with humans is because they move the atom of a human from here to here, and then the soul is left behind. So when you do that, you kill the human. That is why that technology does not work. The reason why Ashton Forbes is correct about the wormhole thing is because it takes everything together, including the soul, and then it moves it through a wormhole. That's the only way you can do that. But again, you could move atoms, such as, like, the only thing you could do is organic matter. You can move the organic matter from here to here, but humans can't be moved that way because, again, as I said, the soul exists. A lot of the secrets behind the ability to levitate, the ability to move through walls, is possible, but only for very short periods of time on planet Earth because of our human body. Our human body needs to be able to understand how these things work. For instance, you can't move through a wall without being lifted. So you have to learn two skills. You have to learn levitation and to vibrate at a frequency that allows you to move through objects. If you just learn how to vibrate at a frequency that allows you to move through objects, you will just fall through the earth down to hell or down to the center of the earth, which is why you need to learn both skills simultaneously. And again, this is why so many of these things may have been at some point stopped. Like the government at some point may have realized that these things were too dangerous to teach people. And so they stopped. Again, a lot of the laws, a lot of the things that were put together were done with the correct principles of safety and all that stuff. But in the end, all it really caused is us becoming slaves of the system. And they're pushing so hard. They're pushing so hard for the nuclear third world war. Why? Because when they do that, they have all these amazing technologies that are indistinguishable from magic, right? They can make a plane disappear like that. They can do all kinds of things. So basically they're God. And so they're going to hide in their bunkers while the rest of the world is destroyed. And then they have a complete slavery, ability to enslave the entire population for the rest of time. That is probably why we're being contacted at this point in time by powers. Because again, as I said before, I have experienced both the dark and the bright side of this phenomena. There are two sides, and if we don't work together with the bright side of this phenomena, we will be slaves until the end of time. That is why we have to go and fight for UAP disclosure, as Dr. Stephen Greer has been saying for a long time. And again, the reason why he was so upset with Luis Elizondo is not necessarily because Luis Elizondo is a bad person or anything. It's because if you go after the UAP control group trying to make money by books or by getting power or through other means, they win. They win because they are better at this cover-up thing than we are. And if you don't show that these technologies exist by staying out of there, then we lose. So anyway, Hokuto no Ken has so many amazing things that you can learn from this thing if you look through the right lens. Again, if you look at it from the wrong lens, like most people do, the Bible and stuff, the scriptures, like what's the parable about one of the guys who was supposed to sacrifice their son, their only son, and throw him off a cliff or something to worship God. No, that's not how that's a parable. What that means is you must be willing to give everything that you truly love and hold dear to understand that there is a power beyond you. And if you only live your life without the understanding that there is a power beyond you,